I'll use it. Before I start with the Irish program, I can't remember it, but it's been a long time since I've done a program in Clinton. And so I'd like to play a song to warm up your voices and make sure that my trumpet is working. And it's a song that just suggests it's been a long time. I'm sure you all know it. Don't hesitate to sing along. It's been a long, long time. It's been a long, long time. I'm going to start with a Gaelic blessing, and I'm going to start the program with a Gaelic blessing and end with a more conventional Irish blessing. The Gaelic blessing is a little bit tongue-in-cheek. It's may those who love us, and those that don't love us, may God turn their hearts. But if he doesn't turn their hearts, may he turn their ankles so we know them by their limping. Okay. The first song I'm going to play originated, it actually came from a 1940s movie called Little Nellie Kelly. And the movie was a remake of a 1922 Broadway musical by George M. Cohan. And that was also called Little Nellie Kelly. The movie starred Judy Garland. It was the only movie in which Judy Garland's character ever died. She started out as Nellie Noonan, and she lived in Ireland, and she was in love with Jerry Kelly. Her father, Michael Noonan, was kind of a malcontent, and he did not like Jerry Kelly at all, and said to his daughter, Nellie, if you marry Jerry Kelly, I'll disown you. So she married Jerry Kelly. She became Nellie Kelly. And the two of them decided that they were going to move to New York. They were going to leave Ireland. Michael Noonan couldn't stand the thought of losing his daughter, and the three of them wound up in New York, where Judy Garland's character, Nellie Kelly, died in childbirth. Then, when later in the film, they named her Nellie, by the way, and when little Nellie Kelly grew up, the character in the movie looked miraculously like Judy Garland, who also played grown-up Nellie Kelly. So the great thing that came out of the movie was a song, and it was sung in the St. Patrick's Day Parade by Judy Garland. And most people know the song, but they don't know the chorus. So I'm going to play the chorus, and I'm just going to pause right before, I'm going to play the verse, excuse me, and I'm going to pause right before the chorus starts. And if you know what the song is, just yell it out. Oh, I woke me up this morning and I heard a joyful song from the throats of happy Irishmen, 100,000 strong. Sure it was the Hibernian Brigade, lining up for to start the big parade. So I fetched me Sunday bonnet and the flag I love so well, and I bought myself a shamrock just to wear in me lapel. Don't you know that today's March 17? It's the day for the wearing of the green. It's a great day for the Irish. It's a great day for fair. The sidewalks of New York are thick with blarney. For sure you'd think New York was old Killarney. It's a great day for the shamrock, for the flags in full array. We're feeling so inspirish, that's because for all the Irish it's a great, great day. It's a great day for the Irish. It's a great day for fair. Begosh, there's not a cop to stop a raiding. Begory, all the cops are out parading. It's a great day for the shamrock, for the flag's in full array. And as we go a-swinging, every Irish heart is singing, it's a great, great day. Thank you. Thank you so much. There are so many songs that have verses to them that nobody sings anymore. God Bless America has a verse, and it's hardly ever used. I'm going to do it at the end of the program. But this next song is another song that I'm guessing you all know, and I encourage you to sing along. It was written by a guy named Chauncey Olcott, and Chauncey Olcott was an American stage actor, singer, songwriter, and his mother came from County Cork, and he lived in New York and wrote musicals, Broadway musicals that had Irish themes. And this next song was written in 1912 for a show called The Isle of Dreams. And the Isle of Dreams, of course, was Ireland. And at the time, despite the fact that so many Irish immigrants came here because they were starving in Ireland, there was kind of a nostalgic feeling that allowed them to call it the Isle of Dreams. But here's the verse, and let's see if you know what the song is. I won't do this with every song. Though there was somebody at the Plymouth Library last night that knew everything. In fact, not only did he know everything, I'm very curious, and I asked the audience last night, does anybody happen to know if Gaelic is written using the same alphabet that English is, like if you read Spanish, most of the letters are the same as English letters. And I didn't know if that was true with Gaelic. And I said, does anybody know? And a guy raised his hand, and I called on him. And he started doing, like a doctoral dissertation. The
answer is no, right?
No. Well, he knew. No, but the answer is no. But there are diacritical marks in Gaelic. I never heard the word diacritical before last night. And then I asked Nisa, the woman that introduced me. She was a linguistics major, I just found out. And she started giving me the same answer as the guy did last night. And it was interesting because I had to interrupt him because pretty soon the people in the audience were going, let's keep singing.
Actually, Gaelic, the letters are the same, mm-hmm. but the pronunciation is totally different.
Ah, okay.
Like a BH is either a V or a W. Okay. Because the old rebel tune, O Roshia Vaya Walla.
If you were reading it,
you would be O Roshia. BH? What's this?
Yeah,
where's the V in here? Where's the W?
Well, no offense, but we gotta sing. I'd be happy to talk about it with you after the program. There's a tear in your eye, and I'm wondering why, for it never should be there at all. With such power in your smile, sure a stone you'd beguile, so there's never a teardrop should fall. When your sweet lilting laughter's like some fairy song, and your eyes twinkle bright as can be, you should laugh all the while, and all other times smile. Now smile that sweet smile for me. I think the two women in the back know what song this is. When Irish eyes are smiling, sure 'tis like a morning spring. In the lilt of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all the world seems bright and gay. But when Irish eyes are smiling, and it makes even sunshine more bright. Like the linnet's sweet song, crooning all the day long, comes your sweet laughter and light. For the springtime of life is the sweetest of all. There is ne'er a real care or regret. And while springtime is ours, throughout all of youth's hours, let us smile each chance that we get. When Irish eyes are smiling, sure 'tis like a morning spring. In the lilt of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all the world seems bright and gay. But when Irish eyes are smiling, it will steal your heart away. Thank you. Thank you so much. This next song is from a show called Finian's Rainbow. Finian's Rainbow came out in 1946, and it was about an Irishman named Finian who moves to the southern United States with a stolen pot of gold. He buries the pot of gold in the hope that the gold, it was as if the gold was supposed to be seeds, and the gold was going to grow into more gold. Apparently Og, a leprechaun, was following him, desperately trying to recover the stolen gold before he became permanently human. I guess with the loss of his gold would cause him to become human. The great thing that came out of Finian's Rainbow, and it's interesting, Singing in the Rain was actually in Finian's Rainbow. But yeah, that didn't become popular until a movie with the same name, starring, was it Gene Kelly, Debbie Reynolds, and Donald O'Connor? Yeah, and that was 1952, but my favorite song from this is How Are Things in Glockamora? Yeah. And it's, I read a Wikipedia, do you all know what Wikipedia is? Yeah. I was looking for Glockamora on Wikipedia, and the first report that I read said that there's no such place as Glockamora. It was made up for Finian's Rainbow. And I went back again today, and someone else said there is. It's a very, very small village in County Cork. So, and there's a line, is the willow tree still weeping there in Glockamora? And the guy that said that Glockamora does indeed exist said that some developer came in and cut down the willow tree. I know, it's like, wow.
And they don't have any guacamole in Glockamora.
I would imagine they don't, even though guacamole is usually green. So, how are things in Glockamora? Is that little brook still weeping there? Does it still run down to Donny Cove, through Killybegs, Kilkerry and Kildare? How are things in Glockamora? Is the willow tree still weeping there? Does the lassie with the twinkling eye come whistling by? And does she walk away sad and dreamy there, not to see me there? So I ask each reap and willow, and each brook along the way, and each lass that comes a-whistling to-ra-lay. How are things in Glockamora this fine day? I just think it's a really, really pretty song. Thank you. I started playing trumpet when I was 9 years old. I can't even believe it. I'm 78 now. It's sort of like, how How did that happen? Anyway, when I was in 8th grade, I started playing with a bunch of kids that were a couple of years older than I was. We had a band, and we would play high school dances. I remember this so clearly. This would have been 1959, 1960, and we would, you know, we'd do a 3-hour gig at the high school, and we'd each get $5. And anyway, one of the kids in the band, I said they were 2 years older than I was, and one of the kids in the band went to Tufts University, and he started a band, and they were looking for a trumpet player, and they couldn't find one, and I knew a lot of tunes, because I had been playing, I have an older brother that's very musical. He did not become a professional musician because one of us had to make a living. You know, I used to play with him when he'd play the piano, and I had an Aunt Sylvia that I'm going to mention a little later again, who played the piano, and she lived in Springfield, and there was no Mass Pike at the time. I lived in Winthrop. So we would go out there and we would stay overnight, and after dinner we would always gather around the piano, and Aunt Sylvia would play and we would sing. So I knew a lot of songs. Anyway, so I wound up in this Tufts University band. I was still a junior in high school, and I was going to fraternity parties, you know, as a junior and then a senior in high school. But the first year that they formed the band at Tufts, at the end of that year, we got a job playing at a place in Scituate, Massachusetts, called the Cliff Hotel. And some people refer to the South Shore in Massachusetts as the Irish Riviera. There are a lot of Irish Americans living on the South Shore. And the first night, we lived at the hotel, we ate with the guests, we played from 9 to 1 at night, and all day long we were on the beach. It was fantastic. And all of the musicians had girlfriends that were either chambermaids or waitresses at the hotel. It was idyllic. It was really beautiful. But the first night we were there, we were in a place called the Bamboo Lounge, and this very large man came over to us, and he said, "Do you guys know Southie is my hometown?" And I said, "No, we don't." And he said, "Well, I'm going to come back here on Monday, and you guys better know it." Anyway, here's Southie is my hometown. And Joe Ford, wherever you are, he was older than we by quite a bit, and so I'm going to imagine he's hopefully resting in peace somewhere. But here's Southie is my hometown. Do any of you know it?
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I had an argument the other day with a guy from Oskaloo. He was bragging about his old hometown. Says I to him what to do. I got hot right under the collar. To that scholar I did holler. I was born down on A Street, raised up on B Street. Southie is my hometown. There's something about it, permit me to shout it. They're the tops for miles around. We got doctors and lawyers, teachers and toyers, men from the old county down. Say they'll take you and break you, but they'll never forsake you. And Southie, my hometown. That's it. This next song is to the tune of When Johnny Comes Marching Home, and it's Johnny, I Hardly Knew Ya. It was written in 1867, and it really, I'm looking at my cheat sheet now, but it said once seen as humorous, and I'm still trying to figure out where the humor is. The song is considered a powerful anti-war song, especially with the last verse. But it talks about somebody who is a young lady who's walking down the road to Athy and bumps into Johnny, who is badly, badly disfigured. He also happened to be the father of her illegitimate son, and he left when he found out that she was expecting, and left to carry a gun. And here's the song. When going the road to sweet a thigh, hurroo, hurroo. When going the road to sweet a thigh, hurroo, hurroo. When going the road to sweet a thigh, a sticking me hand and a dropping me eye, a doleful damsel I heard cry, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. With your drums and guns and guns and drums, hurroo, hurroo. With your guns and drums and drums and guns, hurroo, hurroo. With your guns and drums and guns and guns, your enemy nearly slew ya. My darling dear, you look so queer, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Where are your eyes that were so mild, hurroo, hurroo? Where are your eyes that were so mild, hurroo, hurroo? Where are your eyes that were so mild when my heart is so beguiled? Why did you run from me and the child, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. And where are your legs that used to run, hurroo, hurroo? Where are your legs that used to run, hurroo, hurroo? Where are your legs that used to run when you went to carry a gun? Indeed, your dancing days are done, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. You haven't an arm and you haven't a leg, hurroo, hurroo. You haven't an arm and you haven't a leg, hurroo, hurroo. You haven't an arm and you haven't a leg, you're an armless, boneless, chickenless egg. You'll have to be put with a bowl out to beg, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. They're rolling out the guns again, hurroo, hurroo. They're rolling out the guns again, hurroo, hurroo. They're rolling out the guns again, but they'll never take our sons again. No, they never will take our sons again. Johnny, I'm swearing to ya. Not a happy song. This next song, is anybody familiar with I'll Take You Home Again, Kathleen? Here it is. And then I have a surprising story to tell you about the song after I play it. I'll take you home again, Kathleen, across the ocean wild and wide, to where your heart has ever been, since first you were my bonny bride. The roses all have left your cheek, I've watched them fade away and die. Your voice is sad whene'er you speak, and tears bedim your loving eyes. Oh, I will take you back, Kathleen, to where your heart will feel no pain. And when the fields are fresh and green, I will take you to your home again. Thank you. This song was written by Thomas Westendorf, and he was a German-American, and at the time he wrote the song, he was teaching at a reform school in Indiana, and he wrote the song for his wife, because it was his wife that really, really was heartsick over, you know, homesick for the place that she had grown up, Manhattan. And the final blow is that her name was Jenny. So I'll Take You Home, Kathleen somehow made it into Irish repertoire. I guess it just kind of sounds like a nostalgic kind of Irish song, but and I guess when you put the name Kathleen in, that helps as well. But this next song was recorded by the Clancy brothers. I'm once again, excuse me for reading, but I do this show 1 week a year, and then I don't see it again until the following March. But anyway, it was done by the Carmel Quinn, who was an American singer in the 50s. The Clancy brothers, the Kingston Trio, the Highwaymen, the Limelighters, the Seekers, and a group, I still don't know what the Wiggles are doing. Does anybody know who the Wiggles were? I knew who. It's got to be different Wiggles, because those Wiggles hadn't even been born yet when this came out. They're a bunch of young guys, or they were 10 years ago. I was once a young guy. A gypsy rover came over. You know what the song is about? It's about a young lady that rides off with her gypsy lover, and her father is beside himself and goes after them, only to find out when he finally finds his daughter that this gypsy is from a very, very well-to-do, cultured family, and everything's fine, and they live happily ever after. The gypsy rover came over the hill, down through the valley so shady. He whistled and he sang till the greenwood rang, and he won the heart of the lady. Howdy-do, howdy-do, di-day. Howdy-do, howdy-day-oh. He whistled and he sang till the greenwood rang, and he won the heart of the lady. She left her father's castle gate. She left her own fine lover. She left her servants and her estate to follow her gypsy rover. She left behind her velvet gown and shoes of Spanish leather. They whistled and they sang till the greenwood rang, and they rode off together. On a goose feather bed with silk and sheets for a cover. Tonight she'll sleep on the cold, cold ground beside her gypsy lover. Her father saddled up his fastest steed and roamed the valley all over. Sought his daughter at great speed, and the whistling gypsy rover. To a mansion fine down by the river Clady, and there was music and there was wine for the gypsy and his lady. He is no gypsy, my father, she cried, but lord of these lands all over, and I shall stay till my dying day with my whistling gypsy rover. Howdy-day-oh. They whistled and they sang till the greenwood rang, and he won the heart of a lady. I don't know how this song ends. There's the verse ended, and it just kind of stays on this dominant chord that never resolves. I got it. Have to wet my whistle here.
Yeah, the song doesn't end with a whistle either.
No, in fact, there's no whistling in the song at all, despite the fact that it's about the whistling gypsy rover. I mentioned that I grew up in Winthrop. I lived on 14 Irwin Street, my best friend Paul McCarthy lived on 18 Irwin Street, and Paul McCarthy's grandmother, Anne Creedon, lived at 20 Irwin Street. She had come from Ireland, and it was I started playing trumpet in 1954. So I'd say around 1956 or so, I had already fallen in love with the song Danny Boy, and I would practice, and in 1956, nobody had air conditioners in their houses, and after April, everybody had their windows open, and when I would practice, you could hear me in the neighborhood. I mean, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't, you know. Anyway, you know, it wasn't bad, but I loved Danny Boy, and I was learning the song Danny Boy, and all of a sudden there was a knock at my door, and it was Paul McCarthy, and oh, hi Paul, Polansky, you got to stop playing that song. I said, why? It's a beautiful song. He said, my grandmother's on her front porch and she's crying her eyes out. So that's my Paul McCarthy story. I don't know if my chops are, I didn't warm up before I came here, and trumpet is does anybody here play trumpet? It's an unforgiving instrument. I'm going to try it, and then, but the words are so poignant that you can't really not do them, so I will sing it after I play it. But here's something like
Close to Danny Boy.
Thank you. That would, let's hope. The pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. 'Tis you, must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed or white with snow. 'Tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh Danny boy, I love you so. And if you come when all the flowers are dying, and I am dead, as dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me, and I shall hear those soft time, I tried to sing the second verse to that song, you know, and if you come when all the flowers are dying and I am dead as dead, I couldn't get through it. Okay. This is a little more upbeat. And I don't know how this one got into the Irish repertoire either, except that a clover looks like a shamrock, so maybe that's it. It's just I'm looking over a four-leaf clover. I invite you all to sing. Bad key. Okay.
You know what happens if you try to sing a song in the wrong key?
Okay. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. First is for sunshine, the second is rain. Third are the roses that bloom in the lane. Oh honey, no need explaining. The one remaining is somebody I adore. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. In the 1940s, the Massachusetts Transportation Authority fare schedule was so complicated that the MTA actually published a 9-page manual, single-spaced, trying to tell people how to use, you know, different fares to get on different trolleys and trains and subway cars. And when they went to when they went to raise their fares at some point, it turned out that they were going to have to install new turnstiles in every single station on the MTA system, and they decided that that would be too expensive. So rather than do that, they instituted an exit fare on the trains, so that if you went beyond a certain point that you had paid for when you went through the turnstile, you'd have to give them another nickel to get off the train. And of course, the result of that was that somebody wrote a song called Charlie on the MTA. And that song was also recorded by lots and lots of people. And when Walter O'Brien ran for mayor in, where was it, 1949, one of the planks on his platform was to reduce the fares on the MTA. So he hired a bunch of musicians to go on trucks playing this song, Charlie on the MTA, and they would go through all the different Boston neighborhoods. And it turned out that Walter O'Brien not only lost, but he was fined for disturbing the peace. And he moved to Maine, which is, I think, where he was from originally. But so he no longer had a Boston connection, but Charlie on the MTA has certainly survived. Oh, let me tell you of a story about a man named Charlie on a tragic and fateful day. He put 10 cents in his pocket, kissed his wife and family, went to ride on the MTA. Well, did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever neath the streets of Boston. He's the man who never returned. Charlie handed in his dime at the Kendall Square station, and he changed for a Jamaica plane. When he got there, the conductor told him one more nickel. Charlie couldn't get off of that train. Well, did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever neath the streets of Boston. He's the man who never returned. Charlie's wife goes down to the Scully Square station every day at 2:15. And through the open window she hands Charlie a sandwich as the train goes rumbling through. Why the hell didn't she hand Charlie a nickel? I think something was going on at Charlie's house. Well, did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever beneath the streets of Boston. He's the man who never returned. Back to B flat. Oh, you citizens of Boston, don't you think it's a scandal how the people have to pay and pay? Fight the fare increase, vote for Walter O'Brien, and get Charlie off the MTA. Or else he'll never return, no, he'll never return, and his fate is still unlearned. I thought I didn't have a story about this one, but I do. It's Galway Bay.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it's a very pretty song. You know it. And I'm going to sing it. But it was made famous by Bing Crosby in 1947. I do have a story. Bing Crosby asked my mother out. I could have been a Crosby. Anyway, no, my mother turned him down. My mother and my Aunt Sylvia had gone to a Bing Crosby concert at a hotel somewhere in Boston in the 1930s. And my mother was a really nice-looking lady. And when the concert was over, my mother and my Aunt Sylvia were sitting in the lobby, and Bing walked through. And he looked at my mom, liked what he saw, and asked her out. And she turned him down. And we don't know if she turned him down because she didn't want to leave her sister all alone while she went off with Bing Crosby, or because Bing wasn't Jewish. But anyway, one way or the other. Has anybody here ever read the memoir that Bing Crosby's kids wrote about growing up with Bing Crosby? It was scathing. Apparently he was not a nice guy. And I mean, he was very nice when he was on stage. But as a dad, I guess I'm happy that I grew up the way I grew. If you ever go across the sea to Ireland, then maybe at the closing of your day, you can sit and watch the moon rise over Claddagh, or watch the sun go down on Galway Bay. Just to hear again the ripple of the trout stream, the women in the meadow making hay, or to sit beside a turf fire in a cabin and watch the barefoot gossames while they play. Oh, the breezes blowing o'er the sea from Ireland are perfumed by the heather as they blow. And the women in the uplands digging praties speak a language that the strangers do not know. Oh, the strangers came and tried to teach us their ways. They blamed us just for being who we are. But they might as well go chasing after moonbeams or light a penny candle from a star. And if there's going to be a life hereafter, and something tells me sure there's going to be, I will ask my God to let me make my heaven in the dear old land across the Irish Sea. Another song that Bing Crosby recorded a lot of these songs, especially the ones that were written later on. This song, the original, the chorus, I'm going to call it, was written in 1927 for somebody, I'm trying to see who recorded it. Dennis Day recorded it. Somebody named Billy Murray, who I don't know. But the song is, it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland. And Bing added a couple of verses that weren't in the original, so I'm gonna sing those too. And the verses sort of played on the Irish stereotype of being a cop. And so those are in here as well, and here we go. Oh, 50 years ago, me father left old Erin shore. He landed here a shillelagh in hand and divil a little more. He got a job, then got a wife, and then a family. And then he died and left his old shillelagh stick to me. And it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland. And divil a man was prouder than he when he held it in his hand. He'd lead the band on Paddy's Day and twirl it round his mitt and dibble a bit. We'd laugh at it, or Dad would have a fit. And with the same old shillelagh, me father could lick a dozen men. As fast as they got up Bigory, he'd knock them down again. And many's the time he'd use it on me to make me understand. The same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland. I'm going on the police force, it's the only thing to do. Instead of having one night stick Bigory, I'll have two. If there's a fight, I'll be alright, nobody bothers me. Because I have the same old shillelagh, I'm sorry, because I sing this once a year. Because I have the old shillelagh me father gave to me, and it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland. And Dibble a man was prouder than he when he held it in his hand. He'd lead the band on Paddy's Day and twirl it round his mitt and dibble a bit. We'd laugh at it, or Dad would have a fit. And with the same old shillelagh me father could lick a dozen men. As fast as they got up Bigory, he'd knock them down again. And many's the time he'd use it on me to make me understand. Sure, it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland. Thank you. Molly Malone. It's interesting. Nobody knew if there really was a Molly Malone, but the Dublin Millennium Commission in 1988 decided that they found records for someone named Mary Malone, who died on the 13th of June in 1699. And they declared the 13th of June to be Molly Malone Day. I don't know why they didn't declare it to be Mary Malone Day, except I guess they would have had to change the name of the song. But Molly Malone was a fishmonger, and so were her parents. And I love this song. I'm not sure what it is about it. You know, it's a little folk song, but in Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, that's where I first met sweet Molly Malone. As she wheeled her wheelbarrow through streets wide and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She was a fishmonger, and sure 'twas no wonder, for so were her mother and father before, and they wheeled their wheelbarrows through streets wide and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. You know what happened to Molly?
What?
She died.
Oh.
She died. Do you know what she died of?
A fever.
You got it. Give that man a round of applause. She died of a fever, but we have to pronounce it favor because it has to rhyme with no one could save her. She died of a fever and no one could save her, and that was the end of sweet Molly Malone. But her ghost wheels the barrow through streets wide and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh.
And the fever was the plague.
Oh, was the fever the plague?
Yeah.
Wow.
They just said, it was so old, centuries ago, she died of the fever.
Right.
It was during the plague.
Wow. Thank you for that. I'm going to put it in my program, and I'll credit the guy with the emerald green necklace. Here's another song that I'm guessing most of you know. You don't know it because you're too young. It's funny. I used to go to I still do. I still do a lot of work at assisted living places and places where there are lots of seniors, and most of them used to be older than I. And I used to, you know, if I forgot a lyric or something, I would say to them, I'm having a junior moment. I can't anymore. This next song, as I mentioned, and I've mentioned this a couple of times, I've talked about the fact that there are lots of songs that have verses that nobody sings. Yeah. They sing the chorus. Here's another one, and let's see if you know what the song is, and I'll bet you when I get to the chorus, you'll all know it. Oh, wrong key again. Up to mighty London came an Irish lad one day. All the streets were paved in gold and everyone was gay, singing songs of Piccadilly, Strand and Leicester Square, till Paddy got excited and he shouted to them there. Yes! Who said it? Okay, it's a long way to Tipperary. It's a long way to Tipperary. It's a long way to go. It's a long way to Tipperary, to the sweetest gal I know. So long, Piccadilly, farewell, Leicester Square. It's a long, long way to Tipperary, but my heart's right there. Paddy wrote a letter to his Irish Molly-O, saying if you not receive it, write and let me know. If I make mistakes in spelling, Molly dear, said he, remember it's the pen that's bad, don't lay the blame on me. It's a long way to Tipperary, it's a long way to go. It's a long way to Tipperary, to the sweetest gal I know. So long, Piccadilly, farewell, Leicester Square. It's a long, long way to Tipperary, but my heart's right there. Molly wrote a neat reply to Irish Paddy-O, saying Mike Maloney wants to marry me, and so leave the Strand and Piccadilly, or you'll be to blame, for love has fairly drove me silly, hoping you're the same. Now, when the British soldiers got a hold of this song during World War I, a lot of them had been serving in France, and a lot of them had been having affairs with French women, and they changed the words to the chorus. And they said, that's the wrong way to tickle Mary, that's the wrong way to kiss. Don't you know that over here, lads, they like it more like this? Hooray, pour les Français, farewell, Angleterre. Didn't know the way to tickle Mary, but learned over there.
Does it say in your notes who wrote that? Does the name Jack Judge come up?
Yes, that's Jack. Wow, you're like a historian. I was going to say
I'll give you the story afterwards.
Okay. I was going to call you a walking historian, but you're seated. Wow, no, that's great.
He was an Englishman.
Jack Judge was? Yeah. Some of the people that wrote some of this stuff, where was it? One guy in particular, his name was Joseph Gagan, and they have him down as an English songwriter, but the name Geogheghan sounds very, very Irish. Yeah. So, I mean, he may have been an Englishman by citizenship, but anyway. Nah, I don't want to do that one.
Oh.
Nah.
Oh.
I don't want to do that one either. I'll do another Chauncey Alcott. This is, and I'll bet you there's a verse to this song, but I just don't happen to know it. My wild Irish rose, the sweetest flower that grows. You may search everywhere, but none can compare to my wild Irish rose. take the bloom from my wild Irish rose. Short and sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much. Did anybody have a particular song that you came here hoping to hear? I'm still planning on doing a couple.
How about Christmas in Killarney?
I'm sorry, I don't know it. Okay.
When Irish eyes are smiling.
We did it.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know.
I am going to do Tura Lura Lura for sure. And I wanted to do McNamara's band, and there was a song that was recorded by, I think, the Clancy brothers and Tommy Mangum, Oh Dear, What Can the Matter Be? I didn't know whether I can do that or not, because it's a little off color, but okay. I think you'd be disappointed if I didn't. Okay. In fact, I do another program that are all, it consists of songs that are all inspired by major world events. So one of the major world events, of course, had to be World War I. And one of the songs that came out of World War I was Mademoiselle from Armentières. Mademoiselle from Armentières, parlez-vous? You know the song. Anyway, there was a Mademoiselle from Armentières, apparently, and she had a very, very sullied reputation. She was, to say she was promiscuous was a big understatement. And she lived in the 1820s, 30s, and 40s and was fooling around with a bunch of German soldiers. Once again, the Brits got, and a local wordsmith wrote a bunch of verses about Mademoiselle from Armentières, and they were very, very off color. And then when the Brits got a hold of the verses during World War I, they put it to, they put it to that melody. And when I was putting the program together with these songs that were all inspired by major world events, I wanted to learn the song, so I Googled it, and I looked at, all these verses came up on my computer, and I looked at the first one, and I said, you can't sing that in polite company. And then I looked at the second one, and the second verse was dirtier than the first one. So, when I do the show, I know it's disappointing to some people, but I only do the two cleanest verses that I could find from Mademoiselle from Armentières. What song was I going to sing? No, I know. Oh, yeah, I'll do Tura Lura Lura. I'm sorry? I'll do Tura Lura Lura. I think this is just really beautiful. My mother used to sing it. And I'm sure my Aunt Sylvia used to sing it as well. Over in Killarney, many years ago, my mother sang a song to me in tones so sweet and low. Just a simple little ditty in her good old Irish way. And I'd give the world if she could sing that song to me this day. Tura Lura Lura, Tura Lura Lai, Tura Lura Lura. Hush now, don't you cry. Tura Lura Lura, Tura Lura Lai, Tura Lura Lura. That's an Irish lullaby. Often dreams I wander to that cot again. I feel her arms a-hugging me as when she held me then. And I hear her voice a-humming to me as in days of yore, when she used to rock me fast asleep outside the cabin door. Tura Lura Lura, Tura Lura Lai, Tura Lura Lura. Hush now, don't you cry. Tura Lura Saturday, nobody knew they were there. Okay. I won't do the chorus between every verse, because we'll be here till 10 o'clock. Now the first was the wife of a deacon from Dover, and though she was known as a bit of a rover, she liked it so much that she thought she'd stay over, and nobody knew she was there. And it's, oh dear, what can the matter be? 7 old ladies got stuck in the lavatory. They were there from Sunday till Saturday, nobody knew they were there. Now the next was the Bishop of Chichester's daughter, who went in to pass some superfluous water. She pulled on the chain and the rising tide got her, and nobody knew she was there. And it's, oh dear, what can the matter be? 7 old ladies got stuck in the lavatory. They were there from Sunday till Saturday, nobody knew they were there. The next old gal was Abigail Humphrey, who settled inside just to make herself comfy. Then she found out she could not get her bum free, and nobody knew she was there. And it's, oh dear, what can the matter be? 7 old ladies were stuck in the lavatory. They were there from Sunday till Saturday, nobody knew they were there. Now, oh no, I don't want to sing that one. The next old lady was old Mrs. Draper. She went in to find that there was no paper. The only thing there was a bricklayer's scraper, and nobody knew she was there. And it's, oh dear, what can the matter be? 7 old ladies got stuck in the lavatory. They were there from Sunday till Saturday, nobody knew they were there. The last old lady was old Mrs. Mason. She had to go quick, so she went in the basin, and that was the water that I washed me face in. I know, 'cause I didn't know she was there. And it's, oh dear, what can the matter be? 7 old ladies got stuck in the lavatory. They were there from Sunday till Saturday, nobody knew they were there. Okay, I can't end this without singing McNamara's band. But you know, you really do need a band for the chorus, because there's a place where it goes. What key am I doing? I said, okay. You know, so you won't hear that in between. Well, I can sort of fake it.
And unlike the old timer, when they do that, we don't have any pots and pans.
What a great idea! Wow. Next time I come, I'll ask the library, because they ask me, what do you need? And I usually tell them I just need electricity and water. I'll say pots and pans. Oh, my name is McNamara, I'm the leader of the band. Although we're few in number, we're the finest in the land. Oh, we play at wakes and weddings and at every fancy ball. And when we play at funerals, we play the March of Saul. Oh, the drums go banging, the cymbals clanging, the horns they blaze away. McCarthy pumps the old bassoon while I the flat pipes do play. I'm sorry. And Hennessy, Tennessee, toodles the flute, and the music is something grand. A credit to all Ireland is McNamara's band. Right now we are rehearsing for a very swell affair. The annual celebration, all the gentry will be there. When General Grant to Ireland came, he took me by the hand. He said, I've never seen the likes of McNamara's band. No, we'll do a different. Oh, the drums go banging, the cymbals clanging, the horns they blaze away. McCarthy pumps the old bassoon while I the pipes do play. And Hennessy, Tennessee toodles the flute, and the music is something grand. A credit to all Ireland is McNamara's band. Well, my name is Uncle Julius, and from Sweden I have come to play in McNamara's band and bang the big bass drum. And as we go go marching, as we go marching down the street, the ladies think it's grand. They say I've never seen a Swede in McNamara's band. Ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum, ya-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum, ya-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum, well, I wear a bunch of shamrocks and a uniform of green. Hey, I'm the funniest looking Swede that you have ever seen. There's Ryans, O'Briens, and Sheehan's and Means, they come from Ireland. But by Yemeni, I'm the only Swede in McNamara's band. Ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum, ya-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum, ya-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum. Thank you so much. You guys have been absolutely wonderful. And I am going to end with an Irish blessing. There are two here that I like. One of them is, you've probably heard, may the road rise to meet you. May the sun always be in your face. May the wind always be at your back. And may you be half an hour in heaven before the devil knows you're dead. I think this other one really is, it's beautiful, and it's, you know, you read this stuff, and as a musician, I think one of the things I'm most grateful for is I have worked in every ethnic, and you know, I've been doing this for a very long time, and I've worked in every ethnic and racial celebration you could ever imagine. I was called by an Indian temple once to play, and I had this person on the phone, and we'd like you to play your trumpet at our, you know, and I said, I don't know any Indian music, and he said, well, I'll send you a sheet of the one song that we want you to play. Other than that, play Dixieland tunes. No, so that was fine. And the only reason I'm telling you this particular story is because he said, we're going to have a procession and you'll march behind the elephant. And I said, if it's okay with you, I'd much rather march in front of the elephant. And they said that was okay. But that, I mean, it's a true story. And I mean, I've done Chinese funerals, you know, Armenian weddings in which I would go in and you know, it was in an Armenian church in Watertown, and you know, they gave everybody that was in this little brass section that was doing the ceremony a robe with, you know, Armenian written on it, and but you meet all these people, and they're people, you know, and I wish the world had more experiences of people meeting people that were not like them outwardly, because you know, nice people are nice people, and not nice people are not nice people. It's pretty simple. May love and laughter light your days and warm your heart and home. May good and faithful friends be yours wherever you may roam. May peace and plenty bless your world with joy that long endures. May all life's passing seasons bring the best to you and yours. Thank you so much for coming tonight.